ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Now we were in the discussion about the leaf. In leaf we discussed about leaf modifications and types of leaves. So if you look at in the types of leaves, we discussed about pinnately compound leaves and palmately compound leaves. So let us go with the second category. What is the second category? It's nothing but palmately compound leaves. What is the second category? Nothing but palmately compound leaves. So when you talk about palmately compound leaves, pinnately compound leaves, types of pinnately compound leaves we discussed very clearly. Now we are discussing what is called palmately compound leaves. What is the arrangement? How do you call this arrangement of leaves as palmately? Now let us talk about this. In palmately compound leaves, rachis is absent. Rachis is totally absent. What is a rachis? Now if you remember, in compound leaves you discussed about the leaves. So the common axis on which we find arrangement of leaves is called rachis. So what is a rachis? We discussed for the last class, that is what you find a small leaflets, they are called leaflets. What do you call this? This is nothing but a compound leaf. This is called as a compound leaf. When you take the compound leaf here, the small leaflets what are find here, they are called leaflets. These leaflets are arranged on the common axis. This common axis is called rachis. What you find on either side here? Leaflets. We find leaflets. And what is the centermost common axis is called rachis. Such type of arrangement we find in case of compound leaf in generally. But what we said, what is the first character in palmately compound leaves? The very first character is nothing but rachis is absent. Rachis is totally absent. Now what else you find? Leaves are arranged. Leaves arranged at the tip of petiole. What we can see? Leaves arranged at the tip of petiole. So what's the meaning of this? This is also the characteristic feature of palmately compound leaves. This is also a characteristic feature of palmately compound leaves. Leaves arranged at the tip of petiole. So if you look at here, so this is a petiole. If you look at, this is what is nothing but leaves. So what is a petiole? Petiole is nothing but what? A stalk of leaf. What is a petiole? Petiole is nothing but what? The stalk of the leaf. The stalk of the leaf is called as what? Petiole. Now what is palmately compound leaf here? Stalk of the leaf is called petiole. At the tip of the petiole you can see the arrangement of leaves. At the tip of the petiole you can see the arrangement of leaves. It may be 2, sometimes it may be 3, sometimes it may be 4 or it may be 5. So when you find the arrangement of leaves at the tip of the petiole, such type of arrangement is called palmately compound leaves. Such type of arrangement is called palmately compound leaves. Now what are the 2 points you have to remember importantly? One is rachis is absent. What is a rachis? A common axis on which there is an arrangement of leaflets. It's called rachis. There is no rachis. What you find is petiole. Stalk of the leaf is called petiole. At the tip of the petiole you can see arrangement of leaves. At the tip of the petiole you can see arrangement of leaves. Such type of arrangement is called palmately compound leaves. Right. Now let us discuss the types here. The types of palmately compound leaves. Let us take the very first one. Under this we say unifoliate. Right, unifoliate palmately compound leaves. What is the very first category we say? Unifoliate palmately compound leaves. What you can see here? We can see one leaf present at the tip of petiole. We can see one leaf is present at the tip of the petiole. Where you can find this? We find in case of the examples are important. So that is nothing but citrus. Citrus is nothing but lemon, right? So you can see here a leaf will be like this. This is petiole. But here you can see a winged petiole. What you can see here is a winged petiole. At the tip of winged petiole you can see only one leaf. Such type of arrangement is called as unifoliate palmately compound leaves. Some part of the petiole, in case of citrus, it's get modified into a wing shaped structure, nothing. Why it is called winged means don't imagine like wing or what is the function and all that. No, nothing. Very simply, it looks like the wing. It looks like a wing. So it's called winged petiole. Some part of the petiole get modified into wing shaped structure. It's called winged petiole, and at the tip of the petiole you can find only one leaf present at the tip of the petiole. Such type is called as what? Unifoliate palmately compound leaves. So what is the example you have to remember? Citrus, lemon. Generally if you see the lemon plant, you can see such kind of arrangement of leaves. Next, second category it's called bifoliate. Bifoliate palmately compound leaves. What is the second category we write here? We write here bifoliate palmately compound leaves. So when you take bifoliate, same what you can write? Two leaves present. Two leaves at the tip of petiole. How many leaves we can see? Two leaves are present at the tip of petiole. When you can see two leaves, it's called bifoliate. Let us take example Hardwickia. Let us take example Hardwickia. So what is the example here? Hardwickia. So you can say bifoliate. Bifoliate means two leaves are present at the tip of the petiole. Now you can see it will be like this. How many leaves? Two leaves. Where they are present? At the tip of the petiole. This is a tip. This is a petiole. At the tip of the petiole we find only the presence of two leaves. That's called bifoliate. What is PCL? Palmately compound leaves. Where it is present? Hardwickia. What is the example you have to remember? Hardwickia. Similarly, let us talk about trifoliate. Trifoliate palmately compound leaves. So you can see three leaves presented tip of the petiole, same definition. Only the number of leaves vary. Here we say 1, here we say 2, and here we say 3. What varies here only? The number varies. What is called trifoliate? We find 3 leaves at the tip of the petiole. Such type of arrangement we find in case of oxalis as well as dolichos. So, if you can remember, oxalis is a runner. You know, in stem modifications we studied, oxalis is an example for runner, right? We discussed. Similarly, dolichos. What is dolichos? Beans. We studied the scientific name of dolichos. Dolichos is beans. What you find in both cases, this is the petiole. At the tip of the petiole, you can see 3 leaves are present. When you can see 3 leaves are present at the tip of the petiole, 3 leaves are present at the tip of the petiole, such type of arrangement is called as what? Trifoliate, palmately compound leaves, right. So, here remember the examples. Now, let us talk about quadrifoliate, palmately compound leaves. What is that? Quadrifoliate, palmately compound leaves. But light unchandi sir, ఇది కనిపించట్లేదు సరిగ్గా డార్క్ అయింది కొంచెం. Quadrifoliate, palmately compound leaves, right? What is quadrifoliate here? So, we can see 4 leaves are present at the tip of the petiole. 4 leaves are present at the tip of the petiole. So, here you can take example Marsilia. So, what you can see in Marsilia, it will be like this. How many leaves? 4 leaves, right. What is quadrifoliate? 4 leaves are present at the tip of the petiole. So, such kind of arrangement you can see in the plant. Example Marsilia. So, if you see here 4 leaves are present at the tip of the petiole. Similarly, we can take pentafoliate. Pentafoliate, palmately compound leaves. You can find this in the plant Gynandropsis. You can see such kind of arrangement in plant. For example, you can take Gynandropsis. In Gynandropsis, if you look at here, you can see altogether. So, here you can see 5 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So, here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Right. How many leaves are present? 5 leaves are present. As 5 leaves are present here, then such kind of arrangement is called as, what? Pentafoliate. Pentafoliate means 5 leaves are present at the tip of the petiole. Altogether you have 5 leaves, right. Similarly, let us take digitate, or we call multifoliate. Okay, digitate, or we find multifoliate. Palmately compound leaf. What you find here? Palmately compound leaves. So, you can see here, I will write example here. You can take the example Umbelliferae. Umbelliferae. What is Umbelliferae? This is U, not A. This is Umbelliferae. Umbelliferae, you can take example Coriandrum. Right. For example, you can take Coriandrum. What is Coriandrum? Coriandrum belong to the family Umbelliferae, we say. What is coriander? Kothmir. So, if you take the kothmir and if you are observe the arrangement of leaves, you can see the leaf will be folded in many lobes. So, here you can see the leaf will be folded like this. That means here it's called multifolded. Multifolded. Multifolded means leaf with so many lobes. Leaves are with so many lobes, not one lobe, not two lobe, not five like pentafoliate, more than 5. So it will be folded many lobes. It will be folded with many lobes. Multifolded we call. Multifolded. Such type of arrangement of leaves are called digitate leaves, or also called multifoliate palmately compound leaves. Now let us talk about what are the once again. Palmately compound leaves means, try to remember, rachis is absent, that's the very first point to be recollected. Apart from this, leaves are arranged at the tip of the petiole. Now let us talk about the types of palmately compound leaves. Let us revise quickly. First one is unifoliate palmately compound leaves. So you can see one leaf present at the tip of the petiole, for example citrus. And another important thing is, in citrus you have to remember winged petiole. Try to remember, in citrus what we find is called winged petiole. Now bifoliate palmately compound leaves, bi means two, we see two leaves at the tip of the petiole. Such type of arrangement we find in case of Hardwickia. Similarly, trifoliate palmately compound leaves, we find 3 leaves at the tip of the petiole. You find in case of oxalis and dolichos, right. Then next type is quadrifoliate palmately compound leaves. Quadri means, all of you know, 4 leaves. We find 4 leaves at the tip of the petiole, as you can see in the diagram, 4 leaves on the petiole. Such kind of arrangement is seen in Marsilia. Similarly, pentafoliate palmately compound leaves, 5 leaves at the tip of the petiole, you can see in case of Gynandropsis. Digitate or multifoliate palmately compound leaf, characteristic feature of Umbelliferae, coriandrum, kothumir if you see, multifolded means you can find many lobes, that is a type of leaves called digitate compound leaves. So these are nothing but types of palmately compound leaves, right. Let us go further. Now if you see, now these are all nothing but different types of leaves what we find generally. Right. Now, if you can remember, we discussed about leaf modification for the last class. Now, what you can do is, you can take one paper, directly make sure that you practice pinnately compound leaves and types. Unipinnate, in that peripinnate, imparipinnate, bipinnate and followed by tripinnate, like that. Practice all with examples. Similarly, take another white paper and talk about what I discussed with you, palmately compound leaves. Try to remember uni, bi, tri, quadri, penta, digitate. All subheadings, all examples try to practice, then you can remember very clearly about types of leaves. Similarly, as earlier we discussed about leaf modifications, So first of all, I will try to give you examples. We already have discussed about leaf modifications. Now in leaf modifications, leaves are the structures which modify themselves into a different permanent structures to perform a special functions. So I will give you all diagrams. What you can do is take one white paper and try to practice all diagrams along with me, right. The first category under leaf modification is nothing but tendrils. Okay. So what are tendrils here? We say thin, wiry, coiled, sensitive structures. For example, if you take So this is nothing but the plant name called Lathyrus. In Lathyrus, entire leaf modified into tendril. Modified into tendril. So what is a tendril? Tendril is a thin, wiry, coiled, sensitive structure. Okay. So what is a tendril? Here you can say a thin, wiry, sensitive structure. Now you can see this is nothing but, we can take, these are looks like leaf but they are not leaves. You can take them as foliaceous stipules. What is the meaning of foliaceous stipules? Stipules are modified, they will get expanded and little thick, they look like a leaf but they are not leaves, they are nothing but foliaceous stipules. So what is a foliaceous stipule meaning? Stipule look like a leaf, little expanded and somewhat thick, so that is why they are called foliaceous stipules, right. Now from this the leaves are modified into tendril, the leaf is modified into tendril, this is nothing but tendril. So what is a tendril? Thin, wiry, coiled, sensitive structure. In case of Lathyrus, entire leaf is modified into tendril, this is leaf totally modified into tendril. Similarly, now if you take in case of Pisum, upper leaflets modified into tendrils. Upper leaflets modified into tendrils. It is also like this. Here also you find foliaceous stipules. Try to remember, sometimes you will get a question that where do you find foliaceous stipules. So you find in case of Lathyrus as well as Pisum. What is a Pisum? You all know pea plant, we studied in Fabaceae. Pisum sativum is a scientific name. What is a common name for that? Pea plant. What you find? Upper leaflets are modified into tendril. So here you can see the branch, here you can see the leaves, these are leaves, but upper leaflets are modified into tendrils. Such type of arrangement you find in case of Pisum. So try to remember, Lathyrus entire leaf modified into tendril. In case of Pisum, upper leaflets are modified into tendrils, right. Now apart from this, you can take even tendrils. If you take Smilax, stipules are modified into tendrils, okay, in case of Smilax. In case of Smilax, stipules are modified into tendrils. So here if you take Smilax, if this is a leaf, so this is a leaf, but in here you can see this is stipules. So this is a stipule, it will become thin, wiry, coiled, sensitive structure. Stipules are modified into tendrils in case of Smilax. So take one white paper, practice all the diagrams very clearly on the white paper, right. Next, let us take about second one, let us take spines. Now if you look at spines, we can take example aloe vera. If you see aloe vera, very common leaf aloe vera. So you can see structure will be like this. Like this. Of course it is thick and fleshy and gelatinous. Right, what we see commonly. What you can see is leaf is containing a sharp structures. These sharp structures are called as what? Spines. The sharp structures are called as spines. Now in this class I am giving you only diagrams, practice diagrams on the paper. Content will come along with the examples. So first you take one white paper, in each plant what is the modification, try to practice on the white paper. Now apart from aloe vera, this is aloe vera and you know opuntia, this is opuntia, right? So this is opuntia in which leaves are modified into spines. So here leaves are modified into spines. Modified into spines. Okay, in case of opuntia, it's a xerophyte where the leaves are modified into spines. What about the stem? You find fleshy flattened stem. You find a fleshy flattened stem. Stem becomes fleshy and flattened and leaves are modified into spines, right? And then third category is scale leaves. In this let us talk about scales. Now in this I am giving only diagrams. In this I am giving only diagrams. Now if you look at in case of scale leaves, you know ginger, we discussed underground stem called rhizome. So in case of ginger, so this is nothing but gingiber. Example, what is gingiber? It's nothing but what? Ginger. And also ruscus. What happens in this case? In case of rhizome, underground stem stores the food material, leaves are reduced into small scales. Now if you take the ginger, observe on ginger, you can see small lines, right? On ginger you can see small lines. Why? Leaves got reduced because it's an underground stem. Rhizome, example ginger, it's an underground stem. In underground stem, leaves has no function. So leaves got reduced into scale leaves, looks like a scales. Okay, so here to reduce the rate of transpiration, leaves got reduced into scales that you find in Gingiber officinalis, we discussed. Example ginger, same thing you find even in case of ruscus. Now apart from this, let us take the fourth one is phyllodes. Now phyllodes if you take, it will be like this. So here this is nothing but modified petiole. Modified petiole. Petiole get modified into what? Phyllodes. Where do you find such type? You find in, this is nothing but bipinnately compound leaf. Bipinnately compound leaves. Now such type you find in case of, example I am writing down, Australian acacia. Where do you find? That we find in case of Australian acacia. So in Australian acacia, now if you look at, this is a petiole, petiole becomes swollen, extended, it will become thick and this will be like this. This is a modified petiole. It becomes thick and it stores, it undergo photosynthesis and stores food material. This modified petiole it's called phyllodes. Why? Because even though it contains bipinnately compound leaves, after some time bipinnately compound leaves they get fall off, they are short lived. So petiole take the function of undergoing photosynthesis and stores food. So here petiole modified into phyllodes. Where do you find such type of arrangement? You find in case of Australian acacia. Let us continue further. Now let us talk about storage leaves. Storage leaves if you take, you know, your most well known examples. You can take examples like, you know, discoid stem having, you know, adventitious roots, You can clearly identify this, what we are drawing. Yes or no, right? So here you can find what are called. So these are nothing but fleshy scale leaves. So in this case, fleshy scale leaves stores food material. They store food material. So here you can take, this is nothing but bulb. Of course underground stem we discussed bulb. In underground stem we discussed this as a bulb. What is this I have drawn? It's nothing but Allium cepa. It's commonly called as onion. Allium cepa, commonly called as what? Onion. Is here stem is a bulb. What about the leaves here? Leaves are fleshy scale leaves. Moreover, they store food material. Fleshy scale leaves, they store food material. As leaves are into storage and function. Leaves are storage and function. They are called storage leaves. You can take example Allium cepa. And also you can also take one more example. What is that? We know one more thing. You know one more thing also we discussed. Same. Discoid stem, adventitious roots. What is that? Garlic. Right. So what is that? Garlic. So if you take in garlic also, here this is nothing but what we find. Allium sativum. Allium sativum. It's commonly called garlic. So in both the cases what's happening? You know both of them. You studied as an examples for underground stem modifications. This is a stem modified. This is a stem modified. Along with the stem, even leaves are also modified. Leaves store food here. That's why they come under storage leaves. I am just giving diagrams very clearly. Try to practice on the white paper. Then apart from this, even we find insectivorous leaves. Insectivorous leaves. Now, insectivorous leaves, let us take good examples. For example, you can take Nepenthes. Nepenthes, it's commonly called as a pitcher plant. You know, in case of Nepenthes, I'll just give a complete full diagram. So here, this is nothing but the rim of the pitcher, and here you can see this is the lid. Here you can see a bag-like structure, a sac-like structure, and here the tendril will come, and this is nothing but a modified tendril. So you can see a structure like this. Here I am drawing the tendril. So leaf itself is modified. Leaf itself is modified. Now what is this? This is called as lid. What is the lid here? This is nothing but leaf apex. Okay, what you can see here? Leaf apex. Leaf apex means tip of the leaf. Tip of the leaf modified into a structure called lid. Lid is for what purpose? Closing and opening. It get closed and it get opens. So it will get closed whenever insect comes here. It will get closed. And whenever insect will get digested inside, it's completed the process, again it will get open. So insect will be digested here. It traps the insects and digested with the help of digestive juices. With the help of digestive juices. Now these insects are trapped and with the help of a lid, and this is called rim. Rim of pitcher, or let me write, okay, here only let me write rim of the pitcher. Okay, this is called lid. Lid or leaf apex, just for cap, just for closing and opening. And the one which you find round structure, it's called rim of the pitcher. Now this is nothing but sac-like structure, or you call this is a pitcher or a sac. So it will be like this, and this is a sac or bag-like structure into which insect is trapped, and it will be digested with the help of digestive juices for the sake of nitrogen, for the sake of nitrogen, for the sake of nutrients. Why? Because they grow in the soil where there is a poor content of nutrients, where there is a poor availability of nutrients. So here they grow in the area where there is a poor content of nutrients. So in this, if you look at the modification, you find two types of tendrils. Why I am giving directly diagram on the board means here you should identify some points, you should remember very clearly in your mind. So whenever Nepenthes is there, sometimes they will ask you question, where do you find two types of petioles? Where do you find two types of petioles? Here this is called winged petiole, and this is some part of the petiole get modified. This is called tendrillar petiole. Okay, what do you find here? Petiole means you know stalk of the leaf. Some part of the leaf get modified into winged structure, it looks like a wing, that is all. So, it is called a winged petiole, and some part of the petiole it get modified into a tendrillar structure. So, half part of the petiole modified into tendril, half part of the petiole get modified into wing shaped structure. Sometimes you will get a question indirectly, where you find two types of petioles. So, here you find in case of Nepenthes, it is a pitcher plant, winged petiole we find tendrillar petiole. Sometimes upper part get modified, upper part of the petiole get modified into winged petiole, and lower part of the petiole get modified into tendril. Sometimes they will ask you upper part get modified into winged, lower part of the petiole modified into tendril. So, here this is the leaf lamina. Picture what you find, it is nothing but leaf lamina, that means surface of the leaf get exposed into a bag like structure, sac like structure to trap the insects. That is why they are called insectivorous leaves. Right. Let us take one more example. Let me talk about one more example. Here let us take Drosera. Drosera is also insectivorous leaf. It is commonly called as sundew plant. Now what you can find in this cases, you find tentacles. So you find a structure called tentacles like this. So you find a structure called as tentacles. Okay. So you find structures which are completely open like a flower, they will get distributed to all directions, and these structures what you can see, they are called tentacles. They are called as tentacles. That means leaf is modified into a structure called tentacles. Now whenever insect is coming and trying here, then all tentacles will close. All tentacles which are open in different directions, whenever insect will come and attracted over there, all tentacles will come and overlap on that. Then the inside the insect will get digested with the help of digestive juices. So what you can find here, such type of leaves which are meant for digestion of the insects for the sake of nitrogen and for other nutrients. Why? Because these plants grow in a nutrient deficient soils. That is why the leaves are modified to trap the insects to get nitrogen and other nutrients. Such type of leaves are called insectivorous leaves. What you can do is take the plain papers in your long notebook and try to write subheading wise. Practice the diagrams very clearly. Diagrams are very important. Right. So what you can see here, storage leaves. You know, in underground stem bulb we discussed. So here what you find, it's called Allium cepa, it's commonly called onion, and here you can see a fleshy scale leaf stores food material. Similarly, an Allium sativum, which is commonly called garlic, in this leaf stores food materials called storage leaves. Similarly, insectivorous leaves, many examples are there. Let us discuss few. Nepenthes, it is commonly called pitcher plant. In this, if you observe, tip of the leaf apex, it modified into a lid-like structure. It's meant for opening and closing here, and directly down you can see a bag or sac-like structure. It has an opening called rim of the pitcher because it looks like a pitcher. Now within this pitcher, insects when they come, lid will get closed, insects are trapped inside and they will get digested with the help of digestive juices for the sake of nitrogen and nutrients, and this is called pitcher or sac. But inside here if you look at, we find a tendril. So tendril is modified into two structures. We find winged petiole, half of the petiole get modified into winged structure, half of the petiole get modified into a tendril. So tendrilar petiole, winged petiole. Sometimes you get a question that where do you find two types of petiole means, take the option as Nepenthes. Suppose if the question is upper part of the petiole is modified into, remember winged petiole, half part of petiole, that is lower part of the petiole get modified into tendrils, a coiled structure. Now here you can see pitcher or sac or bag-like structure. It's a modification of leaf lamina. Leaf surface becomes a bag-like structure for the sake of trapping insects. Another plant what we can see is nothing but Drosera. Drosera is commonly called as sundew plant. In this you can see arrangement of tentacles like in different directions. Leaves are modified into structures like this. These are called tentacles. Whenever insects will come and lie on the surface, all tentacles will overlap and close it. So insect is trapped for digestive juices. It will undergo digestion. So what you find, that is sundew plant. Example is Drosera. In both what you find is called as insectivorous leaves.